Christmas, little fella. We know that you're in there and that you're all alone. Be a good little fella now and open the door.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Well, the public domain menace has passed, and now we are at the Doctor Who Christmas special. To be honest with you, it was real hard trying to pick one that, at least one that actually aired some years ago. I am interested in the new one that actually has Nick Frost as Santa Claus that Doctor Who's gonna have, but sadly that one doesn't air till Christmas Day. At least this Christmas Day. So in the long run, I had to pick Doctor Who Christmas Carol. Now, some of you probably are thinking, what are my thoughts on Doctor Who? I mean, I've heard about Doctor Who as a kid. But it somewhat didn't interest me. Just because sort of my older brother and my parents watched it, I don't know. But it's just not one of my personal favorite But Doctor Who, I just don't think was that interesting when I was young. However, I did get a chance to see it. They have the episodes and seasons up on they have the seasons up on Netflix. So, of course, as I graduated from high school, I took a look at a couple of episodes from the first season, and they aren't that bad. I've seen a couple of enough episodes to say it's good. And to some of you out there who probably are saying, oh, come on, you gotta see more Doctor Who episodes than that. There's like the David Tennant seasons that has like the hilarious David Tennant. There's like Matt Smith, he's hilarious. Well, he's not to be confused with the other actor whose name is Matt. You know, one Matt Hill, who plays a piratic Pegasus called Soren, and Ed from Ed and Eddie. But to be honest, this Doctor Who episode, which is sort of their take on A Christmas Carol, is pretty hilarious. But here's my summary of the episode. It's actually kind of hilarious and good. Essentially, there's a ship, which I believe it was like originally a 60 or 75 minute episode. And the ship is sort of going to crash right on Earth. And it sort of takes place in sort of this futuristic England with an old miser, sort of similar to Ebenezer Scrooge. And for some odd reason, he controls the weather. He basically kicks the family out of his place. They don't want him to bring one of the people they have cryogenically frozen, as the Doctor comes in and basically essentially jumps back to his past and tries to have fun with him. There's certain times where there's like one time where he's trying to catch a fish, but winds up catching a shark that actually eats his sonic screwdriver. There's like another story where the Doctor essentially takes the young man to the cryogenics lab and unfreezes the woman that in the past was frozen in time and had like 7 days, I don't know. And they unfreeze her basically just about every Christmas Eve. Good thing I didn't fall asleep with this one. Essentially, the Doctor takes him, goes to the past, unfreezes the woman, and they go to various different times. There's like one time where they go off to New York, they go to Egypt, they go to the time of Marilyn Monroe. Well, that's interesting. But unfortunately, her casket has a date, and with each of those turning at the dates, she starts to age. Which leads to, of course, him still being a Scrooge, but essentially his the Doctor's assistants wind up hologramming the predictions on what will happen if all the events go unchanged. Suddenly he starts to have a change of heart, but unfortunately he no longer has control of the weather, especially on the night of Christmas Eve. One big move he decides to do is, at least the Doctor has an idea, is use the sonic screwdriver, and the woman, who unfortunately is on her last day, goes in and sings the last tune, which will, in fact, get the sharks' which will get the fish's attention. And of course, this winds up saving the whole crew from their utter doom. And of course, they all live happily ever after in peace, and the miser's no longer a Scrooge. I gotta say, Doctor Who Christmas Carol is practically a good one. I mean, even though I've jumped like, 2 Doctors? Maybe 1, I don't know. But, I mean, like I said, there's too many episodes, and, there's too many episodes, and it's gonna take a long time for me to get caught up. I mean, you gotta think, I'm starting to get into Ray Donovan and Dexter, 2 of the Showtime original series, and they're pretty good. I'm on their last episode, and I'm gonna view them right after this vlog today. But, as a personal apology for not having a lot of Doctor Who Christmas episodes to bring up, I was going to bring up some of the best Doctors in history to essentially do Jingle Bells, but sadly I don't have that clip. In fact, you need a membership to even create a card on JibJab, which is ridiculous. What if I don't want to pay $150 a month? But, again, we're going to jump into our last category, Revenge of the Smelly. Which is, we take a look at the specials that are either so bad it's good, or so bad it's bad. But, what are they so bad it's bad? Well, find out as we take a look at one of them tomorrow. That said, see you guys for the new marathon, Revenge of the Smelly.